Hi everyone and welcome to another poetry reading session with me. My name is Ambica and the poem I'm going to be reading out to you today is titled "'Cause Life is to be Lived." Yes, life is to be lived. And the reason I picked this poem is I just did another video for my Instagram, and in case you've not subscribed to my Instagram, I'm going to leave my Instagram handle somewhere here and do subscribe. But I made a video for my Instagram, and in that I just spoke about how we think that happiness is a reward. We treat happiness as a reward versus something that is a state of mind. Because come to think of it, we need to be happy in every second. We know people who have been to prison. If you read a lot of autobiographies, you'll come across accounts of people who've been to the prison and they found happiness there. It's strange, I'll tell you a story. So when I was in university, every time I did not study, I scored really poorly, obviously, and I was no miracle child there, so obviously I scored poorly. But every time I did, I expected a high score. And even a high score was not high enough to make me feel happy. But if I did not study and I scored poorly, I'd be happy with even the lower score as long as I passed. And I was like, oh, this is fantastic. I would love to party and I would love to have fun. So really, it's a state of mind. It's how you actually absorb the information that is thrown at you, how you actually take it in, assimilate it, right? And the sad thing is we are always treating happiness as a reward. I will be happy when I have a child. I will be happy when I have a dog. I will be happy when I score an X percentage in my exams. I will be happy when I marry. I will be happy when, well, in fact, no. Happiness is a state of mind. Life is not to be lived that way. In fact, life is to be lived in a manner where you can be happy in all the minutes and all the moments and all the days. You can experience it. And frankly, speaking to you like this, my mom was actually making fun of me the other day because she said, you have all these things to say to other people, and I am not going to pretend to be not human. It is difficult when you think about it. A lot of times I experience those highs and lows, and I also think about it. But one thing that has changed is awareness. However, now I do think I'm more aware than I was a few years ago. And it has happened through a lot of mindful research that I've done and a lot of other things that I've introspected about. I've heard a lot of YouTube people, I've heard a lot of podcasts, I've done a lot of research, and I have, in fact, assimilated that information, and it has helped me because every time I'm riding that wave of high and low, I think about it like, hey, what is going on? Why am I feeling like this? And it helps me. It helps me be more stable. There are a lot of things that you can do to help you remain stable and calm and experience those joys and really bask or relish in those little moments of joy, everyday pleasures. So that is what I think life should be, right? Life should be somewhere where you are continuously happy. The other day I did a meditation session. So I've been trying to do meditation like 10-20 minutes every single day, and the app that I'm using, on that app there was a woman who actually said, I'm not sponsored by any app, so I'm not going to name it, but the woman actually mentioned about the word santosha, which is a Sanskrit word. And in Sanskrit, santosha means satisfaction. And satisfaction is a state, or contentment is a state of mind. No matter what, nothing can really give it to you. When a lot of outsiders from countries which are more developed than India, when they go to India, visit India, travel to India, they feel a lot of slum children are quite cute, street smart, and have this beautiful smile plastered. Their lives cannot get more difficult. The basic needs are not being met. In my opinion, I feel obviously there's a threshold to materialistic gain. Beyond that, things are not going to make you any happier, right? But we're still struggling. A lot of us are, if you are someone who's watching a YouTube channel here sitting, so you definitely have those comforts, basic comforts, you have an internet to watch it, and the basic necessities. I feel like we are in that little sliver where we are constantly struggling for more, but that more is not going to give us, it won't go ahead and give us a lot more happiness. It's not proportional. So we have to come to terms with it. We have to understand the amount of, I look at it as an ROI, a return on our investment of all the time and the sweat and the struggles that we are doing. We really need to just be happy. If the effort and this, how much we're sweating on it is going to not provide us with a lot more happiness. So that's it for the yarn. Okay, let me start with the poem. And then you pant and you sigh and you tell yourself another lie, that life is all but a race and you need to pick up the pace. Pause. Take a deep breath and tell yourself calmly to not be akin to all those herring through life, because life is to be lived. So this poem obviously is about, I remember exactly when, the thought of this poem came to me. I was walking, I work in the downtown area, and I was walking in the financial district in the mornings before the COVID times. There used to be maddening rush. People would just, and I actually saw synchronized movements by people just walking, and people were just rushing through. Obviously you gotta earn money, you gotta bring in the dough, so you gotta work hard, and people were just going to work, and everyone just looked like they were hurrying. It was almost a reflection of how our lives are, and we spend our lives just doing that. We're constantly hurrying, we constantly don't pause, we're constantly thinking about the next thing that we gotta go and do, and we look at another person and we think, okay, that person is rushing through life, so maybe that's the answer. That is the way to happiness. Well, no. Happiness is inside us. And I have a picture of that somewhere. If I'm able to dig it up, I will put it on this YouTube video as well. But yeah, like I took a boomerang. I still remember of that clip, because everybody looked like they were just together. It was like a rat race, which it is, which I am a part of as well. So I feel like sometimes it's good for us, good for our health, good for our mind, good for our soul, just to pause and think about the bigger picture. In fact, life is much more than just rushing, and like a 0.05 percentage of boost in something, a materialistic thing, is not going to end up giving us way more, right? It's not. And one thing I must say is, as much as you can detach yourself from that materialistic attachment, or don't attach yourself to materialistic things. It's gonna be easy. And this one, I do think I have the rights to preach, because everything else when I'm talking about, I always say this too, that I'm no guru, I'm nothing, because it is something, as human as I am and as human as you are, I feel like this message definitely is something that I speak out of experience. I consider it a blessing that I'm not very attached to materialistic things. And it has, when I look back at experiences, it has given me a lot of joy. It has given me a lot of, not to say I'm not attached to people, and not to say I'm not attached to experiences, but the materialistic things, like I'm not attached to whatever I'm wearing, I'm not attached to the most expensive watch or anything like that. And that has given me a lot of happiness, because I do see people around me sometimes are really attached to that big car, that Beamer that they have, that house that they buy. And I would say, think about it. When you are working towards that, you're putting in all that work, rushing through life and not pausing and thinking that's the way to happiness. Think about it. Pause, think about it. I'm going to read this poem out to you again. Hopefully there's a message that you can carry and internalize for yourself. And then you pant and you sigh and you tell yourself another lie, that life is all but a race and you need to pick up pace. Pause, take a deep breath and tell yourself calmly to not be akin to all those herring through life, because life is to be lived. So here's to living life, experiencing all the joys, the little joys that we experience, the joy of a whiff of air, or just a joy of a warm cup of tea, a joy of a good shower, a good call with your friend, just the little joys in life, just experiencing them. And if it's a tough time, remind yourself, as I always tell you, you're going to get through it. You are going to get through it. So here's to life, here's to the little pleasures in life. Keep safe, wear those masks. I will come back with another poem very, very soon. Stay tuned. Do subscribe. It means a lot for the channel. Bye. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more such content.